if anything ever worked in my business, it was the Facebook ads. I started running Facebook ads day one, 5 years ago when I very first started in online marketing. It was the only way I knew. It was what I was taught. And that's how I was able to grow a business that gave me the confidence to even quit my 9 to 5, right? To even approach my husband with that idea. I literally took 8 weeks off that I did not post one thing. Within the first week of me turning my ads back on, I got 70 new email subscribers. I got 5 email subscribers from my organic attempts on Instagram in 6 months. 70 new email subscribers who were targeted leads, not lurkers, not maybe a couple of them might be in my target audience. No, these were people who were interested in what I had to offer. And I gained them all in 1 week. And I said, that is how you grow a business. What I'm going to teach you today is how to use those Facebook ads to actually get your course sold. What is it that actually works with Facebook ads? And really, what is it that works in marketing that you could then apply to your Facebook ads to actually get people who are interested and ready to buy your coaching package, your online course, your consultancy package, whatever it is that you sell in that realm. I'm Amber McDuffie. I have been running Facebook ads for 5 years now and have been in the digital marketing space, really helping people to market their online business and to run Facebook ads. In June 2021, I panicked because I had just quit my job, my full-time 9 to 5, to pursue my digital marketing business full-time. And the Apple iOS change had just happened a couple months before in April. Now, when I kind of handed in my letter of resignation, it was still February, everything was looking good. All of the ads that I had running were working beautifully. And then come June, right, it wasn't immediate, but there was a slow decline to the performance of my ads and to where all of a sudden it stopped working. And yeah, I panicked because here I was, looking to rely on this completely. Now, mind you, I had saved $20,000. I had the big conversation with my husband about me leaving my job and all of that. And so we knew to expect that he would be able to cover us. In fact, just to be completely transparent, my husband is a successful entrepreneur and could pay our bills twice, before it was needed for me to actually kick in. So I knew we'd be fine, but obviously that was not the point. The point was for me to start a thriving business. And so at that point in June, I was like, all right, I need to turn these ads off because I have a very clear and specific formula that I use that tells me in advance whether or not my ads are profitable, right? And actually, I'm going to share that with you while you're here on this training. So come June, me turning that off, it was because I knew for sure that the lead cost that I was getting was completely out of the realm of profitability. So then I thought, all right, I got to have something else. I have to have some other way of attracting clients to my business. I understand digital marketing. I understand sales. It really is a numbers game. You have to constantly have new people coming in. So I was like, fine, I will start Instagram. I wasn't even on Instagram at that point, right? So I started a brand new Instagram account. Reels was the big hot thing that people were having a lot of success of growing their business with. So I hopped on and started to do all the things that you're supposed to do to grow organically. And I was posting multiple times a day. I was, engaging with other accounts. I was, getting on the platform 10 minutes beforehand and then staying on 10 minutes after posting. I never did the follow unfollow thing. I've always thought that was just a really kind of low way of trying to grow. So I never did that. But I definitely did all the other hacks. I tried to use all the features. I used stories. I posted carousels, everything, again, that people tell you that you're supposed to do. And I grew, I grew some. But, over the course of like 6 months of doing that, the growth was so slow that I got to about 100 followers to where I was like, what is this? How do people sustain themselves this way? This can't possibly be the way to grow a business, right? And then not only that, right? So we all know that our followers, I would say about 1 out of 10 of my followers is in my target audience, right? So for every 10 that I'm following, be one of them, I was like, okay, I could see how you might really be interested in going forward and marketing your business. So I knew that just the following that I was gaining was not going to take me where I needed to go in terms of my business. And it wasn't growing fast enough. And besides that, trying to get them then off of the platform into your email where you really can nurture them and stay in front of them for enough time, so that you can really have those additional touch points to be able to even make a sale and to feel comfortable saying, I'm going to pitch something to you because now I know for sure that you are truly interested. So in that 6 months, I was able to get a whopping 5 people to join my email list from my Instagram account. So it was super clear that this was not going to work. Now, it's not that organic doesn't work at all, period, point blank. It's definitely a long game. It is a long game, and anything that you're getting from organic is going to be kind of small in nature and it's going to be splotchy. It's not consistent. And so come the next year, at this point, it becomes January. So I thought I need to reduce my costs. So I started to look at the platforms that I was using to host my things, and I started to lower costs there. By March, I knew that I needed to shut down the program that I was running. When you're not growing, right? I promise you, you are declining. Like your business is starting to wane. And so the program that I was running, it was a membership. And because I couldn't get enough fresh new people, the energy of the business just started to wane. And I thought, it just becomes harder to show up when other people aren't really excited and have the energy and ready to show up. So I needed to kind of be honest with myself, cut ties with that, and start fresh. So I did, cut it in March, started fresh in May with a brand new arm of my business. And this time I decided to focus exclusively on Facebook ads because I took a really close look and I said, if anything ever worked in my business, it was the Facebook ads. I started running Facebook ads day one literally of my business 5 years ago when I very first started in online marketing. And it was the only way I knew. It was what I was taught. So I didn't know any better, right? That's why I didn't even have an Instagram account before, because I wasn't taught to do that. I was taught to use Facebook ads. And that's how I was able to grow a business that gave me the confidence to even quit my 9-to-5, right? To even approach my husband with that idea. And so I said, I had to get back to this. I have to figure out how to make this work. Okay. I know Facebook is going through their issues with Apple, but I'm going to have to figure this out. So I got off of Instagram. I literally took 8 weeks off that I did not post one thing, okay, on Instagram because I was so intently focused on renewing my Facebook ad presence and really getting laser focused on improving my marketing approach to Facebook ads. It's the only way it's going to work, right? There was no more easy gain that you could get from Facebook ads. You had to really dig deep and do the right thing. And I knew I was capable of that. Like that was never even a question. But I did finally realize that the issues that Facebook was having, I couldn't overcome the issues with Facebook and iOS if Facebook couldn't even overcome it, right? But at this point, it was basically a year later, and Facebook had definitely done some updates with their algorithm and being able to still give their advertisers a good product if they were going to be advertising, because that's Facebook's business. They're going to figure it out. So they had to figure out how to make Facebook ads better again for the advertisers. And then of course for the consumers as well. So I get back on there. Mind you, I'm not posting anything, no organic, nothing. And within the first week of me turning my ads back on, I got 70 new email subscribers, right? I got 5 email subscribers from my organic attempts on Instagram in 6 months. 70 new email subscribers who were targeted leads, not lurkers, not maybe a couple of them might be in my target audience. No, these were people who were interested in what I had to offer. And I gained them all in 1 week. And I said, that is how you grow a business. And so I knew I was back. I knew that I could be more confident in moving forward and being able to get enough clients to really sustain my business because the $20,000 that I saved was gone. Okay. So what I'm going to teach you today is how to use those Facebook ads to actually get your course sold. What is it that actually works with Facebook ads? And really, what is it that works in marketing that you could then apply to your Facebook ads to actually get people who are interested and ready to buy your coaching package, your online course, your consultancy package, whatever it is that you sell in that realm. So there's two different ways that I'm going to teach you that this can actually work for you so that you can get clients the same way that I do. And the first one is for people who like to launch, right? So if you were like, I just like to be selling for only certain periods of time, and then I'd like for the selling to be done, and I just want to focus on delivery of my product and services. So with launching, right? Launching is a 3-phase process, okay? You've got the prep, excite, and the launch phase. So in that prep phase, you're really just kind of getting collected, right? You're collecting up the people who would be most interested in buying your product, and you're starting to connect with them and get to know them, right? And then the excite phase is where you are kind of getting them excited about the fact that you've got this new product and promotion coming up. And then, of course, the launch phase is where you open the cart and sell and then close it down, where you can use Facebook ads to enhance your launch. In fact, it's the best and possibly the only way to scale your launch is to use paid ads to get enough people into your launch sequence to be able to sell to them, right? Because a lot of the times, the real mistake that people make is assuming that their launch didn't work because of something wrong that they did. Whereas in a lot of cases, it's really that you just didn't have the numbers. You didn't have enough people, right? Enough targeted people. When you look at, let's say, your organic following, your social media following, those people haven't really told you enough about how interested they are just because they're following you. So let's start with that very first phase, which is just the prep phase and getting enough people gathered up that you can launch to. It's the audience building, right? So with your audience building, you want to use a conversion ad. Conversion ads are hands down the number one ad. You need to have a conversion ad in whatever strategy you use. At some stage, you need to be using a conversion ad. Conversion ads are designed to specifically go out into the audience that you choose and find the action takers, okay? So with a launch in that prep phase, you are going to offer a freebie, something that is very closely tied to your core offer, and you're going to offer this free value. So you're leading with value, and you are finding the people who would be most interested, so interested in getting that they are willing to raise their hand and stand out and say, hey, me, I'm interested. In fact, here's my contact info, can you send that to me? And so a conversion ad really identifies who the action takers are, people who are willing to stand out and not just lurk, right? So when you get to the next phase, which is the excite phase, this is where your launch event comes in. So whether you're doing a webinar, a challenge, a video series, a workshop, something like that, usually some kind of live experience, just again, to get people very excited about what you have coming up, you are going to use another conversion ad because you're finding the action takers. Who are the people most likely to interact and take action on this info that I'm giving them, right? And so you're going to get them to opt in, even if they opted in at the first stage, which was the prep phase. You want to keep them opting in, keep showing you that how interested they are, right? So you're not only just showing this conversion ad to the people who were already on your list, but also to some new people. Continue to welcome new people into your world, constantly building new people, finding new people interested in what it is that you do and what you offer. Now, here's another thing at this phase. People have difficulty at this stage, especially recently, in getting folks to show up live, okay? Getting live show ups is so important. You got to get the opt-ins, you got to get them to show up, and then you got to get them to engage. Okay. Thankfully, there is a way to encourage people to show up with an ad, and it's a simple, announcement ad, a reminder ad, and it's a reach ad. And it basically goes out to the audience and says, hey, don't forget, today is the event. Of course, there's other ways you're doing that through email, maybe text message. calendar reminders, but basically saying, I know that this is a really good indicator of launch success, which is the show up rate. So that is where you want to put your money. Opt-ins, show up, and engagement. Those are indicators of launch success. So that is where you want to spend money, right? And then the engagement, obviously, when they get there, you have to engage them and make sure that you have ways for them to participate, whether it's homework, whether it's, talking with you, whatever that looks like for you. So at that very last phase, you've got the actual launch where you open up your cart. And there's a couple of different types of ads that you can run here. If you have a pretty large bunch of people in that group, you could use another conversion ad. And this time it would be optimized for purchase. The first two were optimized for leads. This last one is optimized for purchase. But conversion ads work so much better when you have kind of a larger group of people. And so if your launch list is smaller, let's even say 500. I know that doesn't sound like small, but in terms of using a conversion ad, that is considered kind of small. You could still try a conversion ad, but you could also consider using a traffic ad to just really drive traffic back to your sales page or your checkout page. And then finally, you could use a reach ad to just announce, hey, today is the last day. That is literally one of my favorite ads. It takes like this much money that you have to spend to remind people about it, and yet you get so many results. I've always gotten some extra last minute sales from that, just from reminding people today's the last day for you to buy. So really, in those three phases, you definitely want to use your conversion ad and make sure that you have the right people to launch to, right? And get them into your launch. So ultimately, you can use those ads to make sure you have the numbers, because if you're launching and there's only about, 50 people who are aware that you have something to launch, and you have a 2%, chance of closing those people, it's going to be really hard to meet your sales goals, because 2% of 50 is one person to purchase, right? And if your goal is larger than that, I don't know that you would want to do all of that work just to get one person to buy. So the ads are what's going to help you to really grow that launch list so that you can actually make some money from your launch, and money enough to actually cover that launch. So I told you I was going to tell you my budgeting formula so that you can know specifically how to gauge, like, are my ads going to be profitable? If I run ads to get all of these people into my launch, how do I know I'm going to get this money back, right? So here's what you do. Take your core offer price, and I want you to multiply it by 2% or 0.02. So let's say your offer price is $9.97, right? So you're going to multiply that by 0.02 and you're going to get $19.97. That is the break-even cost per lead that you get in. So whether you are getting leads in at that prep phase, that very open up phase, right? Don't pay more than $19.97. The same for that second phase where you are getting people into your actual launch event, $19.97. That is break even. That way you know you won't lose any money. Of course, you'll still gain people onto your list. But are we here to break even? No, we are here to make a profit, to actually have money to take home so that we can grow a business, right? And continue to thrive. So the goal would be to get your leads at less than that. Let's say you get leads at half that cost, at $10 per lead for your opt-ins, right? On average, then you know that you are going to be able to pocket the other half of that. And that is going to put you in that profit zone, meaning whatever you spent for that lead, the other half you actually get to keep. So you know when to turn off that ad is if it's costing you more than what you are willing to pay, because it's eating into your profit. And you get to know that in advance, right? Calculate what your profit zone is and calculate if this ad is even working. Like, I'm getting leads, but is that worth the cost? I don't want to pay that much. What money am I going to have left over? So that has really helped me to really gauge, like, this is working, this is worth it. And it also helped me back in 2021 when I knew I needed to turn those ads off because it was not getting me in that profit zone. And that way you at least don't lose any money. So I was very grateful at that time that I did not lose any money because I knew to turn my ads off. Okay, so the other way, I said that there were two ways that you can use this to actually sell your course. So I do want to share with you the second way. The second way is great for people who are completely okay with having like this ongoing sales process. That's one way. And for people who were like, I don't want to wait for a launch to conclude before I can count some money in my business. I would like to have some money now. In which case, I'm going to encourage you to start real conversations with people through booking consults, and being able to have that chat and walk them through your sales process. One other way that you could do that is by having like an ongoing webinar where you can kind of have some gated content and get them interested in what it is that you offer and teach them about it and then pitch them an offer that way. So what that just looks like is running an ad either to a lead magnet first, just so you can go ahead and collect their contact info, and then on that thank you page, offering them to opt into your webinar, or you can run the actual ad straight to the webinar. A webinar is an excellent lead magnet for gated content. Another way that you could do this, let's say that you want to just go ahead and book some sales calls. I have used a sales letter, a written sales letter with amazing success with that by just going from a lead magnet, and then on the thank you page of the lead magnet, it was a sales letter that sold my consult, right? Now, I wasn't charging for the consult, but any offer is a sale, right? So I was selling them on my free offer, which was a consult, which is a strategy call where you get them on and actually walk them through a process that actually helps them in the meantime, right? But you're sharing up front very clearly, hey, but this is a way that I do find, my ideal clients. And so at the end, I am going to offer a way that you and I can work better together. But even if we don't work together, you get to walk away with this amazing blueprint or something that I've worked with you on during the call. So it's basically a win-win. It gets you talking to your ideal audience, gets you to actually find out more directly from them what their problems are, and gives you an opportunity pretty much immediately to attempt to make a sale, okay, so that you can actually have some revenue in your business right away. So what type of ad would you use for that? I bet you can guess, right? Which one did I say was the most important, the number one ad? And that is a conversion ad, right? Because even if you go straight from, say, the ad to a lead magnet, right? You need them to opt in for that again, because we're looking for action takers, not just people in our target audience, but people who are willing to take action right now. And so you need a conversion ad for that. So Facebook is really out there looking for the people most likely to convert. And that's going to be the same whether you're doing it for the webinar, that's still a conversion, that's an opt-in, or for the lead magnet to the book a call. So you would want to run a conversion ad to really find the people who are going to kind of step into that world. And this way you actually get to kind of capitalize on the fact that these people are ready now, and you really get to sort out your buyers. Now, obviously the copy that you use, the creative that you use for that ad is going to be very important to attracting the right people into your funnel, because whatever freebie you offer, whatever angle that you're using, you want to make sure that you are getting the highest quality people that are going to be willing to actually spend money with you and your business, right now. And then the rest of the people, even if they don't spend money with you right now, they'll stay on your email list. They'll continue to hear from you and get nurtured. And down the line, typically, remember up front, we were saying 2% is about the average. On the back end down the line, you could end up closing another 6 to 7% of those people. So don't give up on people who are on your email list, but just have not bought yet. They just may not be ready yet, or still may be in the research phase. So this is what I help people do. This is exactly what I do. I help people to set up this funnel for themselves and get their marketing, accurate, and where they are using the right messaging to reach their ideal audience and to attract high quality people and sort out who are the people who are ready to buy right now, regardless of which type of method you use, whether you like to launch and close or whether you like to have something kind of ongoing and creating revenue for you on a regular basis. That is what I help course creators, coaches, consultants. That's what I help you guys do. We set up your ad. We've got your landing page for your opt-in, whatever that is, whether it's for your webinar, for a lead magnet, booking a consult. We got to have all the right pieces in place. But once we have them in place, we don't just set it, forget it, and walk away. There's some hard work that needs to be done to follow that, to optimize it, to make sure that it's working. And where a lot of people struggle is maybe they have used Facebook ads before, but it didn't work for them, meaning it didn't bring them sales, but they had no idea why it did not bring them the sales, because they couldn't identify where their funnel really wasn't working. And that is the expertise that I have. I know exactly which metrics that you need to monitor to determine, was it the copy and the creative that did not resonate with the audience? Was it the offer? Was it the lead magnet specifically that wasn't bringing in the right people? Was it the consult, the way that went? Where is it that the numbers are broken down, that we can take a closer look and just optimize what needs to be, changed in order to actually get this to work for you. So I do have that down below so that you can take a look at that offer. If you are still questioning whether or not this is for you, maybe you have some specific things about your business that you're just not sure if this will work for you, you can book a call with me, and we can do just a quick 15-minute Q&A strategy call to figure out, would this be a good fit for you? Are you ready to run ads, things like that? Then we can just get through that. Otherwise, if you're like, no, I'm in, I'm game, I'm ready, just click the button below to go ahead and sign up. And in which case, you and I will be talking very soon.